All right, hello everybody. This is Aaron Dalzell with Dalzell Realty Group again here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we want to take a look at some of the sellers' disclosure forms, and this one is very important and one of the ones that we like to lead with. This is the seller's real property disclosure form, commonly known as an SRPD. You'll hear that acronym thrown out quite a bit by agents and making sure that it is provided on behalf of the seller to the purchasers of the home. Now, this form must be completed by the actual sellers, the owners of the property. The agents cannot fill this out for them. Part of the main process with that is, and the point behind it is that the owners are going to know the most about the property. And if something is not disclosed, that's who they're going to go to and ask and figure out why this was not disclosed. And if stuff is not disclosed, it could lead to potential damages down the road. So that's why this form is very important as you get things started with your new escrow. As you start at the top here, some of the basics, we're going to find the date right in this range here. We'll always see the property address. They're going to ask if you've occupied this property, gives a little bit more validity to the information that is being shared. Now, as we get down here, really as this probably go through the purpose of this statement is that this is to show the purchasers what the seller knows about the home. Now, this does not indicate that the seller has any expertise in construction or architecture, engineering, how the home was built. This is more of what they do know and are aware of that is not working properly or has a condition that could affect the value or the conveying of the property. As we scroll down here, there's really going to be three options for each category. As you scroll through here, starting with electrical systems, you got yes, no, and not applicable. You can see these categories right here. Every item needs to have one of these answered. And again, you'll see right up here, the form is simply asking if you're aware of any problems or defects with any of the following areas. Now, most of these are going to get a simple yes or no answer. Where we would select the not applicable would be something like a septic tank or a well. If you're on the city sewer or public water, you're not going to indicate no, that there is no problem with these because you actually don't have these items in your home. This is where a not applicable would apply. Also, you could jump right across a sauna, a hot tub. If your home doesn't have a sauna or a hot tub, you cannot say that there is or is not a problem with it. It's really not applicable because it doesn't apply to your home. As you scroll down through these, again, looking to make sure you answer these honestly and to the best of your ability. If there is a problem with your home or anything that you are aware of, you really do want to disclose it. It's going to limit your liability down the road. It's also just ethically, morally correct to let the buyers know what you know. Down here, questions are going to get a little bit longer, but same things are going to apply. Yes, no, or not applicable. The first not applicable box you're going to find down here on line item 4. Again, pools and spa. If you don't have a pool or a spa, you can't answer no, that you're not aware of any problems with it because it doesn't actually exist at your property. Therefore, it's going to be not applicable. Now, any of these options that you are selecting yes for, that you do know that they're not working properly or there's a defect with them, is that you're going to scroll down and you're going to get down to page 3 here. And it's going to give you a nice text box here to go ahead and give any explanation that you may have to any of these questions. For example, if a garbage disposal is not working, you know of it, you can go ahead and note it here and explain maybe what has gone wrong with it, how long it's been broken, or any additional information that you may have. If you run out of room here, you can simply just grab another piece of paper and start putting additional information on the page. Now, we're going to go ahead and get this submitted to the purchasers and the purchaser's agent ASAP. The reason we do that so fast is that this could be an issue where the purchasers find something that they're not willing to accept, and a defect in maybe a roof or some plumbing or a well or a septic tank. This is going to be their option here to potentially void the contract. Therefore, we don't want to save this towards the end of the contract and even or to the middle of the escrow. We want to get this right away so that we can work through any of these things, potentially even negotiate through some of them through the due diligence period. Now, something else to note here is that it is up to the purchaser, the buyer, to still to perform a home inspection if they so choose. This form does not serve as a home inspection. You are not an expertise in these areas unless you have noted that you are. So this won't actually replace a home warranty or a home inspection for the purchasers. That is important to note there. So that does still fall upon the buyer, and the buyer may take this SRPD and be good with everything that you've noted here, but still have a request for repairs at a later date based on the inspection that they had performed on their own during the due diligence period. So, one final thing to note here as another key topic is the seller does have the duty to disclose to the buyer if any new defects are discovered and or any known defects become worse. We want to do those quickly and to get that over to the buyers. Nothing good comes from hiding or not disclosing these issues. Again, it does turn a lot of liability back onto the seller. So, with that, that really kind of takes us through the seller's real property disclosure form. Again, as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. My number will always be listed. You can always contact legal support too. Some of this stuff does get a little heavy in the verbiage department when we get into definitions and statutes. So, always, if you have any questions or unsure about anything, please reach out to myself or somebody in the legal department that may be able to help you analyze and kind of understand these paragraphs and these statutes a little bit more. So with that, always feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue to add seller buyer docs, videos that will help you and walk you through the process of buying and selling your home.